And I don't know when I'm sitting next to a guy that was shot 9 times by 2 high schoolers. And
I
his
wish
wife.
it was 10. And I wish the 10th bullet hit your forehead.
Oh, come on.
Danny.
One bounced off his
my
head, didn't it?
goodness.
Didn't one bounce off like a really, didn't one almost get you? Wait, where?
No.
What was the closest shot to killing you?
I would say it was the chest.
The
That was
chest, obviously.
the point blank. The first shot when the guy's standing over.
I'm
point
sorry,
blank.
Barry.
Yeah.
I kid.
It's okay.
What does that
Jesus
feel like? When you
Christ.
get shot, what does it feel like?
I would just say it's searing hot pain at the moment. I don't. I guess like a cattle prod in your nuts. Would be
Probably,
close
huh?
to it, yeah.
Does it feel like you got punched?
So like I said, the first impact, yeah, it feels like you got hit, and then you got a searing pain. That
So it
goes
feels like
through.
somebody just punched you in the chest.
Yeah, absolutely. Bruises get after it showed you like where my gunshot wounds were. There was bruisings all around it. Like it wasn't just a gunshot wound. It was like all bruises everywhere.
How
My
long does the
legs and-
searing pain last?
Until the adrenaline kind of wore off. I mean,
Yeah.
I was like I said, when I got shot at 8:20 in the morning. I sat in the
Rise and shine.
hotel on the hospital bed for about till 1 o'clock in the morning the next day. So I was in pain, but they had me on morphine a lot.
When was the pain the worst?
Right after I got shot, laying there. And
When
people
you
ask
say
me,
right after, do you mean
like
the
what within
minute after?
A minute after.
So
yeah.
at first, probably I imagine adrenaline. At first,
Yeah.
it doesn't hurt as bad.
No.
But then once you realize what the fuck happened,
Actually, like I said, it's like the initial part was it felt like somebody was punching me, right? And then you could feel the searing pain come in afterwards. Like it was hot, and it wasn't until I fell out of the car where I was shot. Then when I was laying back there, and people asked me, "Oh, you need a 911? Do you need something? Do you need a cop? So are you okay? How many times have you been shot?" They were asking me all kinds of questions, and all of a sudden the pain kind of came at that moment.
Yeah.
And you were like,
Yeah.
I realized, how dire the situation was at that moment.
and you were
know?
conscious the entire time.
Yeah, actually,
It's
the first responders that arrived, they were surprised that I was still like having conversations and shit.
Uh-huh.
Because I was more worried about my family, my kids, and everything else.
Did you crack any off-color jokes with the fire chief?
No.
That would have been your opportunity to.
Well, I mean, like I said, the funniest part was, like I told you guys last time, was being in the actual ambulance and almost like passing out. Like I was like feeling that was my last breath, and the guy actually stuck his finger in one of the wounds to keep me awake.
That he was
That's
probably doing a joke.
And I was like,
He's probably like, "Hey, look it, I'm your husband's new boyfriend, or your wife's new
Oh
boyfriend.
my
I'm your wife's new
God.
boyfriend. Look at me."
I was like, motherfucker, don't do that again. Like, I'm awake. I'm awake.
You think
Leave
he
me
was being
alone."
a silly guy?
No. He was actually trying to save my life. So yeah.
Baron, you're Filipino?
Half Filipino, half Chinese.
Did you go to Filipino? Because people say that sometimes when they're like on their deathbed or about to die, they actually go over to the other side for a couple of moments.
Yeah.
Did you go to a Filipino or a Chinese afterlife?
No, actually, there was no afterlife. So like everyone talks about the white light.
Yeah.
Like you walk into this white light. I felt like I was in a pasture, laying down, peaceful. It was serene.
A pasture.
Yeah, just like in a meadow, with grass. or
That
whatever.
sounds like it might be Chinese
Yeah.
heaven. That might be Chinese
That's interesting
heaven.
because
Yeah.
it's Wolverine's heaven in the new Deadpool.
Oh, I haven't
it's-
seen it yet.
You are
Yeah.
much like Wolverine because you got shot 9 times.
Wolverine.
Yeah.
Wolverine. Sorry,
Except
English
my-
is a second language. I know an entire other
Yeah.
language.
Except
Do
my
you?
regeneration
Do
skills
you?
are slower. Yeah.
Wolverine.
Well, I did regenerate you should have seen the holes that were in me. It took me a lot longer to regenerate than Wolverine, but you could
Yeah.
see the holes patch up slowly over
You
time.
did regenerate.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, we should probably just could you give us like for the fans that maybe don't know the actual story, they should
Yeah.
just a quick version of it for the fans that might have not heard it the first
Yeah.
time.
So I had a crazy ex-wife. I have a special needs son, and she was trying to get custody of him. She had lost custody after being a horrible mom, and I had physical custody of
Will
him.
you call her a bitch right now on the record?
Yeah, she's a fucking bitch.
She
no
deserves
problem.
that for sure.
Yeah.
Hell yeah,
Um,
dude.
How long she locked up for, by the way?
Only 13 years.
Only 13.
That's
okay.
how women, they have us defeated in the category of the courts.
Yes.
Yeah.
They have power.
Continue
Go
though, Baron. Sorry.
Yeah, so she wanted my son dead because he has a trust fund that I set up to take care of him, down the road when I'm no longer here, so he can be taken care of.
Good
So
man.
her thoughts were that if he died, since I'm a beneficiary and she's a beneficiary, that she would get that money. So the idea was that she was trying to get him killed. But if he's in my care, that wasn't going to happen.
Of course.
Yeah.
So she wanted me out of the way so she could kill him and then think she would get the money.
Bro.
But she's an idiot. In the state of Washington, Medicare actually gets the first rights to all of that money. So any money that's been paid by Medicare gets paid back to Medicare first, and then whatever is left over goes to beneficiaries, which would have been shit for her. She would have got zero.
Zero?
So, yeah, she would have got nothing. Because when my son was born, on his 8th day, he was in the emergency room, and that was over $800,000 already. So the settlement we got was just $1 million from negligence of what happened when he was a baby. So there's not enough money in there to have warranted her to get anything.
Sure,
right?
sure. And most of it went to expenses.
It would have gone all of it would have gone. It wouldn't have covered the expenses, put it that way, because it hasn't been long enough.
This chick seems like such a yellow belly, bottom feeding, snaggletooth whore.
No matter how many adjectives you use, it doesn't describe her enough.
I want to know the first night you made love to her, how it went.
She
Because
was hot back in the day.
No, yeah, that's the thing that people don't realize.
Hot
like,
girls can
like
be
what
nuts,
you guys
dude.
saw when
As you know.
she was arrested was nothing like what she looked like when we were actually married. So
first night you fucked her, tell us all. Tell us all about it.
I mean, it was good. I mean, it was young. She was 18 years old at the time.
That's fucking. I mean,
like,
whatever. That's cool.
seriously. Like,
How old are you?
36.
Wow.
Oh
Oh.
shit! Fucking let's go, dude. No, I'm just kidding.
Damn,
Whatever,
dude.
dude. Let's
Wait,
go, dude.
what, Baron? What were you doing at 36 that you were still attracting 18-year-olds?
I don't know. I mean, all my life I've been with multiple women, so it's
Yeah.
like of all ages. So when I was
Danny,
when I was 18 and 19, I was pulling cougars that were like 45 to 50 years old, right?
Baron's
And
got
then
big dick
as it
energy.
got older,
dude.
Yeah, he does.
How big is it, dude?
What? Well, how big is what?
Jesse, our producer's asking
Yeah.
how big your penis is.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd
Asian
rather
to
not
Asian.
say.
Asian to Asian.
I mean,
Asian to
it's
Asian is
average.
cool.
It's not like it's not huge,
That's
right?
my
Like,
brother.
That's all you
Average
need.
Cock. Average cock.
I know. I saw on a website. There's a couple of big time in the average.
I mean,
George
I-
Clooney.
the way
George
I talk-
Clooney's in the average.
the way I look
Brad
at
Pitt.
it,
Brad Pitt's in the average.
respectable.
most
No.
most guys don't pull women because of their big dicks. I
Yeah.
mean, that's a reality. It's like big
true.
dicks are like Elon Musk, right? Like when
Yeah.
you look at a financial status, there's 1%ers. I mean,
Right,
big
yeah,
dicks
yeah,
are 1%ers.
Yeah,
We're not.
yeah.
I'm
And,
not a
and they're
1%er.
usually full of cheese, and like you just
What?
don't want the guy attached to it's a piece of shit.
What?
So I'm talking about Brian from
Excuse
Waterworld.
me?
So
Can I tell? I can give Austin a piece of advice because I know Austin's a gamer, right?
Okay.
He's a good,
So,
yeah, big time.
So there's a game that Austin plays called RuneScape.
Yeah.
Yes.
So my ex-wife
Oh no.
was on RuneScape. That's how I actually met her.
Oh,
So tell him if he hooks up with the girl on RuneScape, don't do it because he might end up getting
Yeah,
shot
yeah,
9
yeah.
times.
Wow, dude. 36 and 18, dude.
Yeah.
Fucking Baron's pimping, dude.
Fuck yeah, dude. How old was she when she decided to?
30.
Oh, so you guys were together for that long?
No, we weren't together. We were divorced after 4 years, but we went through a 5-year like custody battle and stuff, and so actually longer than that. By the time she hired those guys, we had gone through. I think my son was born in 2014, and she ended up taking him away when he was about 15 months old, and then I was gone for 2 years. I had to fight for him 2 years, and then I had him for a year, and then she had sent those guys to come and kill me. Yeah. So
And your son's with you now.
yeah, he's 10 right now. So
He's doing a lot better, right?
Yeah, he's doing well.
See, the thing, I was listening to a pod with Lex Friedman and Elon about the future of society, basically, and Neuralink. The second person that got Neuralink is like doing 10 times better than the first one. Neuralink is going to be able to fix a lot of like diseases that like affect
Brain
people's
damage, yeah.
brain
Yeah.
damage. It's going to
Yeah,
be able to
brain
fix brain.
damage,
I do
yeah.
truly believe in 10 years there might be something that'll change his life.
Yeah, it's called reconnecting. So when you have people like with cerebral palsy or stuff like my son has, there's parts of the brain that's damaged. It's not the entire amount. And since we only use a small percentage of what we have,
Right.
the brain can actually relearn parts of the brain that aren't damaged can relearn the tasks that we are supposed to do on a daily basis. But it has to be taught. And so that's kind of the technology or the science behind it is that retraining the parts of the brains that aren't used to do those tasks.
Yeah.
Right. And yeah, you're right. The technology is there, and there already is stuff like deep brain stimulation that allows people to get electricity put into their brain, and it helps refire those parts of the brain to do those tasks that's needed. So who knows? I mean, I'm always optimistic, but in the meantime, my goal is to just give him the best of life. Like right now, we're on a road trip where We
Yeah.
just came from Vegas a couple days ago. We're here in Cali for about 6 days.